Radiotopia from PRX.
From Radio Diaries, I'm Joe Richman, and this is the Unmarked Graveyard, a series untangling mysteries from America's largest public cemetery.
Neil Harris was last seen in Inwood, New York on December 12, 2014.
Uncle Caesar was estranged from our family for 40 to 50 years.
The playwright, novelist, and author of Happy Island, Miss Dawn Powell.
You can't help but wonder what her life has been.
So many questions, man. So many questions.
Over 1 million people are buried on Hart Island. It's often called a potter's field. People end up there if their family can't afford a private burial or the city can't find anyone to claim the body. And when New York City gets hit hard by an epidemic, like the flu of 1918 or just recently COVID, Hart Island gets hit hard too. During the 1980s, the epidemic was AIDS. More than 100,000 people would ultimately die because of AIDS in New York City alone. Many were buried on Hart Island. Some of their families never found out what happened to them. Today, episode 3, one woman's search for a man she never knew.
Oh my God, that's the island. It's crazy. There's not a lot of land for that many people to be buried. At first I thought it was eerie, but it's kind of pretty because the fog just like erases the city. It's just so beautiful. It's nicer than I thought. My name is Annette Vega. I'm a registered nurse. I am 52 years old. I will be 53 this month. I grew up in the Bronx. I lived with 2 of my younger sisters and my mom and my dad. Dad was always working. He was an electrician for Local 3. And he was always the strong guy. And a lot of the neighborhood teenagers looked up to him. Not everybody had their dad in their life, you know. Looking back at it, it's like, it was a great childhood. So when I was about 7 or 8, I found out that my dad wasn't my biological father. That's the first time I came to know that there was someone else out there. This is a picture of my biological father, Angel Garcia. He looks like he's in his 30s, and he has a long mustache and a DA, hair that's kind of brushed back. Who was this person? Why hasn't he been in my life? Could he be looking for me? I just felt a persistent urge to find out.
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, Annette.
So did you win at bingo yesterday?
I won $75 yesterday and $370 something on Tuesday.
Wow.
I wish there was a bingo today.
So I wanted to ask you some questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. The questions are related to Angel Garcia, who's my biological father.
No kidding.
No kidding. All right, Mother. So what do you remember about him?
He was very sweet. He was good to me. He knew he was good looking, and he was sure of himself, and who knows. He had this cologne. Oh, my God, it was the best cologne ever. He left that cologne in my drawer, and I used to spray it. My
mom had me at 16. I was a mistake. Not a mistake, but, I wasn't a planned pregnancy, And she was a teenager growing up in the Bronx, and there was a young man. Everyone called him Machu. They had a little summer romance. He'd be working in the auto body shop. She'd go home happily with grease on her backside of her shorts. And I'm like, Mom.
He talked about Puerto Rico, where his family came from. He talked about the future. when we got married, and he was a charmer, let me tell you.
Were there things about me that remind you of him?
I think you look like him a lot. You had green eyes. Well,
Green eyes.
you had very green eyes like he did.
Remember my Monte Carlo, my 6-cylinder that I would be driving fast and you'd be like, oh, you remind me of your father. And I'm like,
oh, yeah, because he used to love to drive. He used to steal cars. And I think he used to steal cars just for the fun of it.
Wow.
He was a bad boy. So I guess maybe I was into bad boys. Who knows?
Aren't we all? Do you remember the last time you guys saw each other?
I seen him after I gave birth to you. We hooked up again, and he used to pick you up and talk to you, and we used to go on car rides with you and everything like that.
When's the last time you spoke to him? What was that conversation like?
All I remember, I was insulting him.
You were insulting him? By what?
I told him that he was not your father, that he was only your father because he made you, but not because he raised you or supported you. I knew that would hit him hard. And then he disappeared one day, and I went to his job, and they told me, no, that there was another woman looking for him and all that. So I never went back, and I never looked for him again.
I remember my mom telling me he was kind of a tough guy, and she thought that he was in a gang.
The South Bronx, one of New York City's roughest neighborhoods, and since the mid-60s, home to an outlaw motorcycle gang who called themselves the Chingalings.
I remember hearing about the Chingalings. They were notorious motorcycle gang that people were fearful of. I thought he might be with them.
So what does it mean to be a Chingaling?
The religion we got is a Chingaling religion. That's the only religion we have. Ride our bikes, party, hang out. This is like a family thing.
So I literally walked up to the Chingaling's house in the Bronx. It's like painted in black and, motorcycles all around. And another guy comes out looking rough. He comes over, he talks to me, and I tell him I'm trying to find my father. They call him Machu. He has green eyes. Oh, I haven't seen that dude in years. Another woman comes out, and she's, out on the stoop having a cigarette, and she goes, I remember him. I remember one night we were partying really hard. I got so messed up, and he helped carry me upstairs to the bedroom. That man could have done anything to me. And he put me in the bed and put a blanket on me and left. Nice guy. They wished me luck. They said, I hope you find him. I felt kind of silly, looking for so long without a real reason as to why I was looking for him. I didn't need him to be my father, but I still really wanted to find him. There were thousands of questions. Where's his family? Do I have brothers? Do I have sisters? Do I have a grandmother? Do I have aunt? Where's his people? It was late January. I got a message from someone on Ancestry who gave me names. I used the white pages, I used Facebook, and I sent them messages. That evening, my phone rings. I hear this woman crying, emotional. She said, Annette, mi sobrina, tanto tiempo que te estaba buscando. All this time, my niece, I've been looking for you. I was like, you have? You know about me? Hi, Titi. Bendición. Te quiero mucho. Te quiero mucho. So I'm here. I arrived at my Titi's house. My titi Miriam, my father's sister. It's a really pretty home.
My name is Miriam Garcia. My brother is Angel.
Angel was your brother. He was younger than you or older than you?
Mi hermano menor. En la escuela él no.
Her younger brother. He only went to 6th grade, but there was something about him that he could just pick up things. Like he learned how to work on cars. He can take a car that was destroyed and make it look like new.
Que yo recuerdo a mi hermano como un hombre bueno.
Angel was a good man, but he had a really, really hard life.
Sí. Por eso me da tristeza hablar de él, pero yo sé que en mi casa había unas situaciones.
There was issues in the home growing up because their father was an alcoholic.
Porque mi papá era alcohólico.
And my father went to the streets. And he started using drugs at the age of 13.
Ese era el problema de él. Él estaba vendiendo droga.
He was arrested and in prison from selling drugs.
Era un sitio como un campo.
But it wasn't like a traditional prison. It was like a camp.
Uh-huh. El policía fueron a casa.
So she said in 1985 or 86, police came to their house to tell them that he escaped. They don't know how he did it. And someone had to have helped him.
Mira, yo recibí una llamada de él.
She said she received a phone call from him in the summer of 1989 that he was very sick with pneumonia and he wanted to come home.
Con mi esposo. Después yo fui a Nueva York.
Her and her husband went to New York.
Caminamos por muchas calles.
They walked through the streets looking for him.
Pero más nunca volví a saber de él.
But she never heard from him again. She hasn't seen him in 30 years. She said, I don't think he's alive. Okay, so this is what I find out. I received an autopsy report, and I actually have it with me. And it says, Angel Garcia died August 3rd, 1989 at 11 p.m., 37 years old. Immediate cause of death, pneumonia, due to AIDS as a consequence of chronic intravenous narcotism. IV drug abuser. It says he was buried in a place called Hart Island. People are buried there. People with no ID on them. People who haven't been claimed. And then I spoke to Titi Miriam. We went through it together and she put it down and she said, this is him. You found your father.
Hi.
What's up? Hi.
Nice to finally meet you.
Nice to meet you. I can't believe I'm standing here with my brother. Like, it smells like he's so cute. Look at him.
Thank you.
I'm like, this is so nice. So I found out that I had a brother named Angel. I've never met him. He also didn't know where our father was.
She reached out to me and wrote me a letter telling me she was my sister. I was incarcerated. So at first I was like, what? What the hell is going on here? She went into detail telling me who she is and how she went about finding me. So all her research had paid off.
I know, I should be a private investigator. The Garcia, yes. Now we're going to go see our father where he was buried.
It's weird, like nobody knew where he was at all these years.
Block 201, section 3.
Right there, 201, grave 27.
Yeah.
So this is the plot where Angel was buried.
My dad.
Our dad. Wow.
I was always his biggest fan, like rooting for him.
Yeah.
I must have been like 7 years old. And we went to the prison to visit him. And he took us from the visiting room to like the dormitory. He introduced us to all the dudes that was locked up with him or his friends or whatever. And he gave me like a boat made out of like wood, and that's the last time that I seen him. Well, now I know where he's buried.
The people that loved my father, whether it's my brother, my aunt, my cousins, everyone talks about how he was such a good guy. I think they were afraid to tell me the bad stuff, whether it's being in a gang or in prison, being an IV drug abuser. You know, Angel was not an angel, but it's who he is. I mean, it's not a complete story without all of it. I'm putting flowers here at his grave, just planting and marking, because he's here. He's not lost.
I'm happy to see where he lays and to like tell him like, yo, Annette found you, she found us, and we here. Now we know where you are.
That was Annette Vega and her brother Angel Garcia. This story was produced by Nellie Gillis. Our team also includes Micah Hazel, Elisa Escarce, Lena Engelstein, and myself. Our editors are Ben Shapiro and Deborah George. Sound mixing by Mitra Kaboli. Music in this episode from Roy Brown and from Matthias Bossi and Stellwagen Symphonette. We couldn't make this series without the help of Melinda Hunt and the Heart Island Project. Visit heartisland.net to learn more. And also thanks to our broadcast partner, NPR's All Things Considered. We're proud members of Radiotopia from PRX, a network of independent, creator-owned, listener-supported podcasts. You can hear them all at radiotopia.fm. Radio Diaries has support from the National Endowment for the Humanities, the Lily Auchincloss Foundation, New York City's Department of Cultural Affairs, and from listeners like you. Coming up on the Unmarked Graveyard, the woman who has led the charge to open up Heart Island.
The importance is, for me, reframing this terribly dark image of a place that is so damaging to so many people so that they believe that their life matters to the city of New York, that the lives of their relatives matter.
I'm Joe Richmond of Radio Diaries. See you next week.